Hurricanes are one of nature's fiercest, most powerful, and most destructive forces. During a hurricane, those at home seek refuge in distant shelters. Those at sea have no place to hide. Their only hope is the Coast Guard. Rod Adkins and Mike WHARTON are about to learn this. These two friends from Kansas are realizing their lifelong dream, sailing across the Gulf of Mexico. When they first set out on their new 30-foot sailboat, Bobbin, the winds were fair. 5 days into their journey, Hurricane Erin strikes the Gulf of Mexico.
They were traveling from Tampa, Florida to Port Arthur, Texas, which is pretty much a straight line shot across the Gulf. The wife called in, said they had not showed up. She was getting worried. We initiated our search here, having a Falcon fly from the Aviation Training Center to Tampa, Florida, all the way across to Port Arthur, Texas. They did not find the Bobbin.
The next day, with the Bobbin still missing and the hurricane fast approaching, the Coast Guard continues its search for the vessel.
The Falcon jet spotted the sailing vessel Bobbin. They tried to hail them using the emergency frequency on the FM radio and didn't have any luck. So they asked us to come check out the sailing vessel. We got into about an 80-foot hover behind the sailing vessel. It was about 45 knots of wind and about 6 foot of seas. The first major wall of the hurricane was about 30 miles to the east of us still. They had been motoring using the outboard engine on their sailboat, and they had run out of gas, and their battery was dead.
They didn't hesitate at all. They went ahead right away and agreed to come off the vessel. We have the ability to put the rescue swimmer hoisting right down to the actual vessel, but with the sea state confused with it pitching and rolling and the mast sticking up, we determined that that was not the best course of action.
Looked at the sailboat, I knew right off the bat that I didn't even want to attempt to try to get lower to the sailboat. And seeing the line hanging off the back of the boat with the fender on the back, I was pretty confident that I could grab a hold of that line and pull myself up to the boat.
We made 2 attempts to lower Russ down to the sea anchor. On both those attempts, our heavy rotor wash blew the sailing vessel.
When we got him onto the sailboat, I told him, I said, "You look good enough to kiss." And he just grinned. He said, "Well, go ahead and kiss me. Everybody else wants to." The basket fit Mike just fine, but I weighed about 260. When I was trying to get into this basket, it was plenty narrow, and I had to be pretty hunkered up. I'm not hanging around out here while they get a bigger basket. I'm getting in this basket if I got to stretch it.
Once the hoist cable got fouled on the rope behind the boat, and me and the guy was just like out there bobbing. He got a little squirrely on me, so I just kind of like tightened my grip on him because I couldn't talk to him. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know the cable was fouled up or anything.
Just a very few minutes before then, I knew that I was not going to live through it. So then for things to change so quickly, from not going to live through it to utter confidence that I was going to, was just overwhelming.
The Coast Guard was almost beyond praise. Here at a time in our most desperate need, these fellows had showed up, made sure we were taken care of once we were on shore.
2 days later, during a routine air search of the hurricane destruction, the Coast Guard spots the Bobbin on Fort Walton Beach.
Rod and I pulled our boat off the beach, and we put it in a slip at Fort Walton. Here, Hurricane Opal kicks up. The eye of it just slams right over the top of the boat again. And it busted loose of its moorings and was carried about 3 miles up the waterway.
Now we're kind of looking at the remnants right here of the results of what Opal did to our sailboat. The boat's been here for, I guess, a little over a month and a half. This is in a fellow's backyard.
We plan on, like I said, getting it to Pensacola in a slip there. And then just kind of doing some minor repairs on it, doing a lot of sailing. The storms have kind of set us back, but we love to sail. Look forward to sailing many years.
Up next,